Hey everyone, it's Kim, and I'm here with my third DT project for the month of September for Craftsupplies1. And I'm sure, as you saw at the beginning of the video, that it is an altered book. And I just want to say I don't believe in destroying books to do things. I'm a very avid book reader, and but this book was falling apart. The binding was gone. The pages were falling out. It was just pretty much destroyed. And so I decided to sort of rescue it of sorts and alter it. And I've had this idea in my head for a while, and I thought, this would be the perfect time to do it. So let me explain what I've done. I've used the Fairy Bell paper, as you can see. It's one of my favorite papers. And I just wanted this to look like an average sort of, really cool little fairy tale book. So I covered the book with all of the paper from the Fairy Bell collection, and I just love this image. And these letters here I've had in my stash for a while. They're from Maya Road, and I just used my gold embossing powder on them to give it a bit of sparkle and glitter. And then I went along the edges of the book after I put the paper on, and I distressed all the paper and everything, which you can see here. And this is the lace from Craftsupplies1 that you've seen me use on all of my projects so far this month. It's a beautiful white lace with roses on it, but this time what I've done is I sprayed it with my Lindy's, if anybody wants to know the color, just ask me because the name escapes me at the moment, a Van Dyke Sepia or something like that, and I sprayed it, and it was the perfect color to pick up the brown tones in the paper. So I lined this side and then all the way down here, and then on the back as well, down here and here. So that is that, and then down the side here I've just used the same as I did on my photo album. I used some rosette trim from my stash, and then I used these gorgeous and beautiful flowers from Craftsupplies1, the two-tone sort of a pinky burgundy and cream that you can see there. So pretty. Sorry for the glue strings. Then after I did that, I started embellishing on the outside, and here in the corner, I'll start over here, I rolled the paper back a bit and then put another piece from the paper line under here. And I used these chipboard fairies that I had, and I just used my homemade texture paste on them, and then I used two different kinds of Lindy's to spray them. I used Voodoo Violet Blue and Carpathian Bluebells on them. So those are the two sprays I used on the blues and purples that you'll see, because there's blues and purple tones and browns in the paper, so I wanted to sort of pick those tones up. So all of the flowers on here you see are from Craftsupplies1. There's those beautiful two-tone ones again, and then here's these ones with this really cool stamen in the center. And then these lovely and gorgeous shabby chic ones with the purple stamens inside. I used a couple of those there. And then more of the little two-tone ones, and another one of these. They're so dimensional, I just love them. And you can't really see it, but there's a chipboard doily back here that kind of got covered up. And then I've used a Tim Holtz piece here. It says Listen. And another little fairy from the Pork Chop Show. And these are some chipboard wings I've used right here. And again, I gave them the same treatment with the homemade texture paste and then the two different Lindy sprays. And then here you see one of the gorgeous latex flowers from Craftsupplies1. These are like probably my ultimate favorite flower. I just adore these. They look so realistic. And then another of the two-tone flowers back here. And then a little Prima mushroom and another chipboard fairy. And I've also used these word sentiments here. There's attitude, family, and then up here at the top you'll see the word free. Those are from the Pork Chop Show. And there's another chipboard fairy that I've sprayed and used the texture paste on. They turned out so pretty. I just love the way they look. And then over here I've got a Prima piece that says Believe. And then a couple more of these gorgeous Craftsupplies1 flowers, and I've used my homemade texture paste in various spots that you'll see. So that's basically the outside of the book, and as you can see, it's quite dimensional. And then on the side here, I decided to make a closure for it because it's very thick, so I thought, I'm going to use a chain closure. And I haven't got this close, but I also had this piece in my stash, so I hung this on the front because I thought it was really, really pretty. This tassel piece, this piece of vintage jewelry. And I used the Tim Holtz piece, and I do have it open just so I can access it easily, but I've used some of the pieces, the charms from Craftsupplies1. So here's this gorgeous, beautiful bronze key, one of my favorite pieces. And then here I've got a little crown and a little lantern. I love that little lantern, it's so cute, and a little Eiffel Tower. So I just hung some charms on the side, and I've used the Tim Holtz clasp here, so let me just undo that, and then I'll show you the inside. And that just kind of hooks on and closes. So that just hangs down the back. So then when you open it, I'll start on this side. Again, I've used more of the fairy bell paper. You can see she's so pretty. I just love her. I didn't do too much on this side because otherwise it wouldn't have closed. It would have been so like humongous. It never would have shut at all. So I tried to keep this side fairly flat. I've used the Tim Holtz alphas here, and I spelt out the word believe, and then I just used my homemade texture paste on them. And then I created a little banner. This is actually from the Fairy Rhymes paper, so that's what I've done there, just kind of going across. And then another prima piece here, this beautiful lantern. So the fairy looks like she's standing by the lantern. And then down here I've just created a couple of little flowers with in a very sort of pale purple tone. And then use the Craftsupplies1 flowers, and it's the centers. So that's that side. And then here, what we did was, I will explain to you, my husband actually glued all these pages together. It took him like 2 days. It took a very long time. And then once he got them glued together, we realized that there was so much moisture in the glue that it was making the pages wrinkle, so we had to weight it down with something very, very heavy. And then, so that took another couple of days. And then after that was done, finally, we were able to cut a hole in the center. But we still had to sort of glue down the pages on the inside as well. So it took a lot to actually create this little shadow box on the inside. But it's very kind of cool. I like it. So I wanted this to look like super shabby, very old, very weathered, very fairy-like and whimsical. So what I've done on this side, after we cut, my husband cut the hole out for me, thank goodness, because I don't think I could have done it. I used this gorgeous vintage-looking lace. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. There's a good shot of it right here. Right here you can see this beautiful Craftsupplies1 lace right here, and I've just gone all the way around the cutout with that lace, because to me it's very vintage looking. I just love it. So I lined it with that, and I wasn't really fussy on how it looked because I wanted it to look old and shabby. So I just kind of stuck it on, and where it landed type of thing. So I was very actually pleased with that because it sort of played into the whole shabby look. And then over here I've used a little wood veneer piece. It's a full moon, not a full moon, a crescent moon. And I just added some stickles to it to give it a bit of glitter. And then I have this chipboard word called Timeless, and I put that here, and I gave it the same treatment as the chipboard fairies. And then in here I've got 3 Craftsupplies1 flowers, and this one here is one of the, let me see if I've got one here. Well, I have it in blue here, so I'll show you the blue one. But the flower that I used is white, but that's what the flower looks like, only in white, and that's what I used. And I sprayed the flower with the 2 Lindy's colors to give that same tone of the blues and purples. And then these are 2, and then that's one of the latex flowers, and then one of the other sort of dimensional flowers with the cool stamens. And in the background here, I didn't do anything to the background. I left the paper so you could see some words through it because it is a book after all. And I had this Gothic window wooden piece in my stash, so I went over it with my homemade texture paste and gave it a bit of sprays with the Van Dyke Sepia, whichever that one was. I forget the name, but again, if you want to know, just ask me, just to pick up some of the brown tones. And I put that right in the center in the back, and then I've put a chipboard fairy right in the center on top of it. And then up here I've got another pork chop show piece, one of the little fairies. And then over here in the corner, I've got more Craftsupplies1 flowers, and here is the little angel wings, which I love, and all the little flowers. And there's another flower that I sprayed right there from Craftsupplies1. Another, to me, they're like wedding flowers. They're material with pearls in them, and that's sort of what they remind me of, little wedding flowers. They're so pretty. And then another latex flower here, and some more small flowers tucked in, and then there's the two-tone one right down there, and the little Prima bird nest, and there you can see another little Prima mushroom in there, and another pork chop show fairy, and then there's another chipboard fairy here sitting beside some flowers, and I've got a chipboard doily and more gorgeous, gorgeous Craftsupplies1 flowers all through here, and a Prima clock, and then a Tim Holtz spinner. So that's basically the inside of the book. I know there's a lot to sort of look at, but I really love these Craftsupplies1 flowers. They really, really made a difference to this project. I just love the way that they look. So this is my little book shadow box. I'll just show you that again. So that's how the inside looks. And then you close it. And then you just take your little hook and close it. And that just hooks on there, and then you can close it. And it sits like that with all the beautiful charms hanging off it. So pretty. So this is my third project for Craftsupplies1, and remember, there's a sale going on right now. It ends on the 21st of September, which is tomorrow. And so you want to get over there and take a look. And I also know that she's restocked a few new things, but they're in limited supply. So definitely go and check them out. The links for the store are right down there. So go take a look. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my project. And if you have any questions about anything, just ask. Feel free to comment if you wish. I love to hear from you. And I will take care, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye.